In the late 17th century, the Caribbean became a crucible of chaos. Port Royal, once the wickedest city on earth, fell to the sea, leaving a power vacuum filled by outcasts. Privateers held royal commissions, legalized theft on the high seas. But when the War of the Spanish Succession ended in 1713, thousands of sailors were cast adrift. Hungry and abandoned, they turned their sights on the very empires they once served. A merchantman's cargo was no longer safe from the men who knew every rope and reef. Nassau became their sanctuary, a republic of rogues in the Bahamas. Here, the only law was the pirate code, and the only master was the democratic will of the crew. Benjamin Hornigold reigned early, but his protege, Edward Thatch, would soon eclipse him. To the world, he became Blackbeard, a titan of terror with smoke in his hair. Thatch understood that fear was a more effective weapon than any broadside. He didn't need to kill if the mere sight of his black flag forced a total surrender. Contrast him with Stede Bonnet, the gentleman pirate, a wealthy landowner who traded his library for a sloop, proving that the lure of piracy infected even the elite. Pirates didn't just hunt gold, they sought flour, medicine, and textiles. A barrel of salt was often worth more than a handful of Spanish silver to a starving crew. The Royal Navy eventually struck back. Heavily armed warships like the HMS Pearl began to hunt the predators, turning the turquoise waters into a bloody graveyard. Democracy on deck was revolutionary. Captains were elected, and spoils were divided with a fairness unseen in any Royal Navy of the era. This was true liberty. Gender roles were defied by Anne Bonny and Mary Read. They fought with a ferocity that shocked their male counterparts, proving the black flag recognized only skill and courage. Life was short and brutal. Disease and infection claimed more lives than combat. A simple wound often meant a crude amputation with nothing but rum to dull the agony. The Whydah Galley's wreck in 1717 remains a haunting reminder of the era's end. Sam Bellamy's riches were swallowed by the Atlantic, buried under feet of shifting sand. In 1718, Woodes Rogers offered the king's pardon. Many took it, turning from hunters to the hunted. The Brotherhood of Nassau began to crumble from within. Charles Vane refused to bend. He chose the gallows over the pardon, a defiant ghost of an era that was rapidly being choked out by the noose of empire. Bartholomew Black Bart Roberts was the most successful of all. He captured over 400 ships, yet he fell to a stray grape shot, marking the end of the giants. Roberts' death signaled the final decline. The Navy's reach extended to the African coast, where the royal fortune met its end, and the pirate dream began to fade. The Jolly Roger was more than a flag, it was a psychological tool. It told the merchant, surrender and live, or resist and face the red flag of no quarter. Lieutenant Robert Maynard's mission to Ocracoke was the turning point. He hid his men below deck, baiting Blackbeard into a trap that would end the legend forever. The deck of the Ranger ran red. Thatch took 5 bullets and 20 sword cuts before he finally fell. The head of the Titan was hung from the bowsprit. Justice was swift and public. Dozens of pirates were hanged at once, their bodies left in iron cages as a gruesome warning to all who dared defy the king. Rum was the fuel of the Golden Age. It was used for hydration, celebration, and to mask the taste of rancid water, binding the men in a permanent drunken haze. Henry Every, the king of pirates, was the only one to truly escape. He vanished with the Great Mogul's treasure, leaving behind only a legend and a ghost. By 1726, the age was over. The seas were cleared for commerce, and the footprints of the pirates were washed away by the tides of an unforgiving industrial world. Yet, their legacy of rebellion and democracy endures. We still look to the horizon, wondering what it meant to live for a merry life, and a short one.